Hello to the CME Group. This is Danny Riley with today's MrTopStep update. You know, the S&P went out on somewhat of a firm note yesterday and settled at the 1190 level. And this morning we've had a really, really large letdown as the bond market has crept higher and more bad news out of the banks in Europe. The S&P traded down to 1131. That's a 59 handle drop in less than 45 minutes. Now we'll let Tim jump in right now and kind of explain what's going on the technical side.
Hi, Tim from Top Notch Trading. And to go along with Danny, to be honest with you, look at yesterday's high of 1206 half, down to a low of 1131. That's 75 handles in a 24-hour period, ladies and gentlemen. Huge. The NASDAQ, meanwhile, has 150 handle in 24-hour. This is incredible. Yesterday, the bonds make a low of 136.10. So far, the high on this spike this morning is 141.06, almost 5 points in 24 hours. The fundamental influence is at full tilt right now, and I suspect that we're going to see some more of this just when the markets were calming down, giving us some good technical ideas. So let's take it here from Danny and see what he has to say.
Well, you know, yesterday when the S&P was on its highs, Tim, the Pitbull came in on our IM and said that this area above 12 even was a warning zone. Now, after that, the market sold off sharply, but then late in the day, the market recovered, and it gave us this kind of false sense of support. And this morning, the markets are down sharply again. You know, we think that the markets are still in trouble. Now, you know, we came on back several months ago. We talked about 950 in the S&P. The market sold off, then it rallied. We've never really jumped off this bandwagon that the market was going lower. And as Tim's pointed out, technically, we're seeing a very, very large breakdown. Now, another thing that we want to point out right now is we had several days last week and the prior week where we saw the S&P do anywhere from 5 to 6.2 million contracts a day. Now this morning when we came in, there was about 570,000 minis traded, and as of 10 o'clock, we've got 2 million traded. Now that's 1.43 million contracts traded in an hour and a half. So you know what, we're seeing a lot of big action here in the S&P and a lot of big program and algorithm activity going on here too. Anything you want to add anything to this, Tim?
Well, the only thing I want to say, Danny, is now with those highs yesterday, and I did, if you recall, on Tuesday mention that discrepancy about the 1097 low in the pit to the 1077 low on the E-mini. Those are price targets. And ladies and gentlemen, since those highs, I did some fib calculations. You want to know what I'm seeing? Mr. Fib has his way. We have objectives now to 995.90 and maybe, just maybe, an overall objective down to 942.80. If we do not regain above those highs made yesterday, that's the target levels on a Fib basis. Top Notch today, though, is going to go out with another meltdown. He's looking for 1103 even to find support. This is today only. We'll see what happens. Late in the day yesterday, we had a turnaround from a buy bias and it took a short bias, and I was looking for the 67 to 69 area, and right now today's pivotal price is 67.30. So with this in mind, if there's any chance of a rally, the target is 67.30 right now in the SPOOs. After they made this low of 31, they went up to 44.5, then down to a low of 36.5. They need to achieve 47 first, and then maybe we can see a little bit more of a relief bounce, so to speak.
Thanks, Tim. You know, we're going into a little bit after 10 o'clock Chicago time. We've got about 2 million minis traded. And as Killer just said, he just came on CNBC, we had 4 down 4% days last week. Now, you know, the big thing that we're looking at here, and it's going around in the S&P, is that limit down in the S&P is 1070 even. Now, we're not looking at that right now. We're looking at 1141 last in the S&P. You know, we're going to do our best to keep you up, and we'll be back with another update.